Hi, my name is Robbie Omondi and welcome to Life 360. Now, today being International Day for Street Families, I met Moses, who has a very unique story. I have gone to media school, I'm practicing media. On the other hand, Moses, who has gone to media school but has not gotten a chance to practice what he has learned. Now, I asked him to share his story with us to understand that sometimes life gives you what you don't expect. However, how you turn it around and the opportunities that might come your way is what matters. Now, allow me to introduce to you Moses. Welcome so much, Moses. Maybe to my viewers, tell us, Moses, what are your full names? How did you grow up to where you are now? And let us know what this International Day for persons living in the street means to you.
My name is Moses Paul Hagin, and I was born in Kakamega. That is 1995. And I left Kakamega, that is early 2010. Then I went back, I went to the street. The reason why I went to the street was that in our family, we are a family of 11. So I had young siblings that were eager to go to school. And my parents were not capable of taking care of everyone of each and like the rest of us. So I thought to myself, I have to go and then give space to my younger siblings so that I can be educated. And I went to the street.
Now, before going to the street, you've told me that you've gone to media school. You've gone to one of the one of the best universities in Kenya. Tell us about that. How was your growing up in terms of education and going to school, and now even going to media school to study media?
So when I went to the street in Mombasa, I found someone, a sponsor. He took me to high school. I graduated from high school, that is 2015. And then I went to pre-university, that is in Kemu, a year. And after that, I went to USIU Africa. Then I graduated in 2021 in September.
In USIU, what were you studying? What did you do there? And how was it? How was the experience?
So I did journalism, and my major was broadcast. My minor was criminology. The life at USIU was so good because for a street person like me, to find myself in such an institution, it was like a miracle. So it was a good life. I graduated with a second class upper, and situation forced me to be back in the street.
Now, in most institutions, or rather like me when I was going to school, there's at some point you have to go for internship. And I believe that internship really helps to open doors for people to get even into the job market. Did you go for internship, or that was not the situation for you?
So for you to go for an internship in USIU, you have to be a third year or a fourth year student. And then by that time, Corona was hitting so hard. So a lot of institutions were not welcoming people for internship, or even as you won't be allowed to go to an institution for internship. So the thing I did in USIU, there's what we call options that you can take. Instead of going for internship, you can do something like a project or maybe media tour. So media tour was also out of the window because Corona was still hitting people. So what I did a project to do with street children because I was raised in the street. So I had to do a project to do with street children and how they pass through such kind of life. And my focus was one of the homes in 44. That is for Nunikawa West. Yeah.
And now, after that, you finished, you graduated, but now you're in the street. Why not go back home? Where are your parents? Are you in a position maybe to go and do other jobs than being in the street?
I've tried to look for other options, especially to do with jobs. When I finished school, to just take you back, I went back to Mombasa so that we can communicate and talk with my sponsor to see how my life will be. But then things happened, and my sponsorship was not couldn't continue.
Yeah.
So I found myself back in the street, and I struggled and went back home. That is in Nairobi. My dad is in Nairobi. But then at home, I thought to myself, I'm still a burden to them. And I came back to the street. So I'm still struggling to see if I can find an option, even if it's an internship in any media company that wishes to take me. I'm positive that I can bring something on the table. I'm very positive. If there's any media company outside there that is looking for an intern, I'm ready to do anything to do with production. Yeah.
And now, basically, how is life on the streets? Because you've gone to school. I would like to know, how is life in the streets? Have you adopted to living in the street in terms of even going to an extent of using drugs? Because I interact with most street families, and young guys are going into drugs really badly, which affects their mental state, their health in general. How are you adopting to this street life?
Actually, mine is different from that. I'm not using drugs. What I'm trying to do is getting some of the boys out of drugs, because I actually hold one or two meetings with some street boys and educate them in terms of the dangers of drug abuse, because I know what it brings to, what it does to people. Because once you start using that glue or those drugs that you are using, your mentality just shifts from the normal person that you are into a different world. So what I usually do is talk to some of my friends that drug using isn't positive to your life. What I do now to survive, I usually go to like construction sites and do one or two constructions, manual as a casual person. That's how I get to feed myself. Uh, Even last night I was there, as you can see, my dressing just tells you that. So that's how I survive in this street. As an educated person, I have an obligation to make sure that some of the boys will get out of it instead of going deep into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if given an opportunity, let's say someone or an organization wants to uh, take you in for internship, are you strictly looking for internship in line with the media, or you've mentioned your minor was in criminology? Are you willing to try other things, even if it's on internship level, as you structure on how you're going to expound to other things in terms of your likes in career, and what majorly are you looking to do in the media industry?
I always have the love for media, but then since I'm at this position that I'm in, I would like just to do anything that comes my way as an intern. I'm ready to grab that opportunity, because I'm getting old. Yeah, I'm getting old, and I cannot wait for Yeah.
And maybe, are you in a position to tell us something? Assume now you're presenting about the event today for International Day for Street Families. Are you willing to give us something?
Yeah, I can
All
try.
right.
I can try.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Moses Paul Hagging, and today, as we celebrate the International Day for Street Children, a lot has been said, and a lot has happened. But as we can see, all we see around is joyful faces, full of happiness, ready to grab this day and memorize it into their memory. International Street Day is specially set aside for street children, so that they can be able to reflect on how their life has been, and if possible, get out of the life that they are in. As a presenter, my obligation to make sure that people get to know what is the danger of drug using.
Thank you very much, Moses. Yeah, so I'd like to, maybe if there is an opportunity, I'll definitely, I don't know how to reach you, but I hope we can get ways of actually speaking. And if you're out there and there's an opportunity in your organization to actually give an internship opportunity to Moses, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll definitely give him a call or look for him to enable him actually track back to his life. And of course, speaking to him, he's a straight person. He's someone who knows what he wants, and I'm sure he will be of change not only to himself but also to the street families who he is very close to, and he has managed to speak to some of them actually to get out of drug use and get track of their life. Until next time, this is Life 360, changing lives and making the world a better place for all of us. Until next time, bye-bye.